Hey everyone, Jim T. Graham with rcgroups.com. Forgot to take my glasses off. I'm here with Mean Joe Vermillion with Legend Hobby. What's happening, Mean Joe?
How we doing, Jim? Good to see you, my friend.
The backdrop you have there, it almost looks like you're in front of a really cool warbird.
Yeah, that's the Legend Hobby logo. It actually, we've got the studio set up here now, and I got logos and banners all over the place.
And so with that said, the reason we're here today, and if you're watching this video wondering what's about to happen, there's a lot of new things to talk about. In fact, there's so many that I said, me, Joe, we need to stretch this out. So be sure and hit subscribe so you can, and we'll tell you what we'll be talking about next week. But this week, we're going to go over the brand new website. It just released like yesterday, right?
Yeah, it's actually been live since I think Tuesday about midnight. It went
Okay.
actually live, so it's still in the process of uploading. So it's been a mess, but we're getting there. It's actually getting better and better each day. So
Awesome. So we're going to go over that and show you everything you need to know. There's also a container on the water, and we're going to go over what's in the container. As many of you know, if you don't, or if you see something that you love and have to have, and we haven't even talked about this. So we'll talk about pre-orders and if that's even available when we get
yes,
there.
sir.
But
Oh yeah.
we have a Corsair, a T28, Ultimate Bite, and an L19 to discuss.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
We got
I'm going to
lots of
kick it
stuff on
over.
the way.
Yeah. Me, Joe, why don't you? I'll throw up the website, and why don't you take us on a little tour?
So basically, the legendhobby.com website has gone through a complete renew. It is completely new. The way it's laid out is much, much different than it ever was before. We're trying to get the models grouped in a way such as, like, if you search L19, then you'll come up with a page that has L19s at L.19 on the search bar. And it will come up with all the sizes because we're going to be offering several sizes, several build completion levels, and all that stuff, so that it's a lot easier to find what you're looking for. So we go over, we got the uncovered, we've got the on the L19s, on the container, we've got the big 156-inch L19s on the way. We've also are doing pre-orders right now on the 122-inch Seagull L19. So there's many options. We have the uncovered versions, we have the gray. There's all types of different ways to do it, and I'm looking at my notes so I don't forget anything. But yeah, there's a ton of options. Let me see if I can find in my notes here. And all of that's going to be a lot easier to find. So we're trying to group the models in a way that folks can get to them quickly and don't have to do a lot of searching. The old website was getting to be a little bit cumbersome. We were getting a lot of complaints from customers about the way it was working. We have there was just a lot of issues with the new website. What we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be offering at some point, we're going to start having a forum available so that customers can get on there and talk about their airframes and get on there and ask questions. Myself and Tomas will be actually monitoring the website forums once we get those all set up. That way, any customers that have any questions that don't have time to call or missed us when they called, we can go ahead and answer questions in there. And it'll be a place for pilots to hang out. There's actually going to be a team pilot area where the team pilots will have the bios and all that kind of stuff up there,
Got it.
so that everybody can get to know the team, because there's quite a bit. So a couple of the new plans, again, we have the forums. We'll have assembly. You can do assembly videos. You can post your assemblies. You can ask questions, all that stuff. Customizations, tips, tricks, events, all that stuff that's in development, stuff that's up and coming, stuff that you might see, and any real announcements that you might get when you're going through that stuff. Like with an example with the 122-inch Bird Dog, that's the new Seagull Bird Dog. That's one of the airplanes that's actually on the new website, and that's going to come in a couple of different schemes. So we're going to have we're going to have the Chicken Man scheme. That one's right there. That's the 122-inch Seagull. That's a 60 cc to 85 cc. That's going to be the Chicken Man scheme. And we also have I'm looking on my notes because I'm having a little bit of a brain fart here on the other version.
The
The
Deadeye.
Deadeye, that was what it was. Yeah. So it's 122-inch, two schemes. We'll have the Deadeye version and the Chicken Man version. These are available for pre-order. I'm not sure. Does it show that, Jim, on there as a pre-order yet?
It says,
I
let's go down.
believe those should be up, because that's one of the issues we're having with the website is the information getting uploaded so fully. These were available for pre-order. I can't remember. There it is. So there's your information for your pre-order. You can go on there and pre-order that airframe. We do have those on the container that's on its way, and those are due in beginning to mid-December. So they're on the way and will be here soon. So that's just an example. One of the things that's going to be important for the customers to do on the new website, we've had a lot of customers reaching out on Tech Call to find out how they get into their account. You're going to need to create a new account, and you're going to need to use the exact same login information that you used for the old site. If you
Got it.
do
That's good.
that, then all your pre-orders and all your stuff will upload. So you'll be able to see your orders. You'll be able to see your stuff. Now, I have talked to a couple of customers that said their logins weren't there. We have such a large amount of logged in customers that it's going to take it a minute for the website to catch up. So give it a few days. If you can't get anything if you can't see anything that's showing by, let's say, the Monday of next week, give us a call or send us an email over to info@legendhobby.com, and we will get to your questions and see if we can't help you get set up properly. But
And
as
I'm
long as it's
looking.
the same login, it should be the same.
So down here at Legend Hobby Links, we have contact.
Yes, sir.
And let's see, I'm looking for an email that they can
It
find.
doesn't look like it's up there yet. I'm going to put that in my notes. I hadn't went to that page yet, but you would go ahead and just add. We're going to add the info at Legend Hobby. So the email
Got
address
it.
for us directly is pretty easy. Plus the tech line's available. When that rings, myself or Tomas will answer as quickly as we can. We both actually still have full-time jobs, so it might take us a day or a couple hours, but once we get to it, we sure will give you a call back.
Got it. Awesome. And good to know. And once again, that login is right there in the upper right-hand corner.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then, like, again, you're going to need to create a new account when you go on there, and you're going to need to use your same information from your old account. Again,
And the
if
big
it's not populated by Monday, let us know.
question you're going to get is, what is my password?
Right. Yes, I am very familiar. I've actually had to send my stuff in to you, sir, a couple of times because I forgot it or it changed. I'm very familiar with that game.
Yes. It's a daily thing for me. What is
Yes,
my
sir.
password?
What was my password again? I
Yeah.
understand. So you can see the website. We're looking for feedback, so if you want to get us, follow us on all of our social media. We've got, we've got the YouTube, we've got the Facebook, we've got the Instagram, we've got the TikTok, we've got all the other stuff that's cool. And let us know what you think. Go on there and post. Hey, we've had a lot of customers. The feedback so far on the new website has been phenomenal. Everybody's real happy with it. They like the way it's laid out. There's been a couple of small little issues that people have noticed, but it's going to take, probably, my guess, normally with something like this, with a full redo, it's probably going to take us a good month to get all the bugs ironed out.
Easy. I tell you
So
what you might want to put on your list is your TikTok and Facebook links
yes, sir.
icons
Yeah,
down here.
those are going to go. We were waiting to integrate our social medias until the site was better functioning.
Got it.
So
Got it.
with the new redo, it takes it a minute, and we didn't want to throw too much stuff at it because we didn't want to slow the process down. We were more interested in making sure our customers were able to log in and get their information, and then once that happens, that'll all be part of the next upload, as we'll do the social media and all that kind of stuff. We're also going to be offering a new newsletter. It sounds like right now the plan is to possibly make it bi-monthly in the summertime and monthly in the winter or / build time. Quite honestly, because I'll be the one producing it, and that's just going to be my time where I be able to make sure that goes. You know as well as I do that content for newsletters is really tough to come by, and it's hard to keep enough stuff to keep everybody interested, but that's the goal, is we're going to keep. And if you need anything, if you have any questions that you want to have seen, or you want tips or tricks on something particular, just give us a shout. Everybody knows how to get a hold of me. Send me an email, send me a text message, whatever, and let me know what you want to see, and we'll put it on the show.
And I can say when that first newsletter goes out, I'll make sure I'm on the list and I will be rebroadcasting your content to make sure everyone at RC Groups and Flying Giants knows what's happening.
Awesome. Yes, we really
Yeah, yeah.
appreciate that. The group here, I've actually been involved with the RC groups slash Flying Giants now for probably close to 11 or 12 years, and it's
Yep.
always been a pleasure to be a part of that community. It's the people that are on there are super respectful, and they have a lot of knowledge, and they're willing to ask questions and answer questions. It's really awesome.
And one thing I'll say is the ability to go on any of those forums, and it happens to me all the time. I'm out in the field and I don't remember what the CG is for an airplane I built 3 years ago.
Right.
And let me tell you, you're not going to go to Facebook and figure out what the CG is for an airplane, but
Yeah.
you can certainly go to RC Groups and literally our Flying Giants, type in the plane and CG every time on my little phone. I'm like, it's
There it is. Yep,
2 inches
there it
back.
is.
Yeah,
And that's one of the things we're really trying to integrate into the new site. We're trying to make sure that all of the spec information that is oftentimes needed or requested by customers as they purchase an airframe, all that's there. The throws, the CG, the weight, the length, the wingspan, all that stuff. We're trying to make sure that we uh, put on there, and then also link to the available products. So like we carry high-tech servos, we carry Stinger engines. We have the Stinger engines with auto starts. We have all that stuff. And we're really trying to make sure that the customer has the information that they need. And what we've been doing is if they call me and I answer the phone and they need a CG, the first thing I do is I jump on the website. And if it's not there, we go ahead and put it on there. So
yeah,
again, if you see anything on there that's missing or you need some more information, just reach out and let us know and we'll take care of it. We're usually
awesome.
pretty close to being on top of that. Usually, I would give us at least 24 hours. In most cases, all of the questions get answered in 24 hours or less most of the time. Did you lock up?
Got it.
There it
So
goes.
there we go. It'll happen, and
It
usually I just
happens.
let it
Yeah.
roll because it
Yeah.
snaps back. But we have a container on the water,
Yes,
and what's
sir.
the ETA on that thing?
So right now the container is due in, barring any hurricanes or nasty stuff, krakens or whatever on the ocean. We're expecting to have that in before the holidays. We're expecting that container to hit the warehouse, and well, not literally hit the warehouse, but we're expecting the contents of the container ship to hit the warehouse in the first or second week of December, so early mid
Right,
December.
right.
So everything should be here, and I will tell you right now that I know Thomas is ready to go. He's standing on the starting line. As soon as that gets here, we're going to get airplanes shipped. So there was a couple of issues I wanted to make sure I touched on. So first thing we're going to do is one of the big ones that's on the container ship that a lot of people are excited about is the all new 87-inch Seagull F4U Corsair. This model is phenomenal. I actually have the first one in the United States here that I'm working on for some stuff. And it's just beautifully done. The packaging on that, we actually have the unboxing video on that, just to see what all's there. I think we did I can't remember if we did I may have done the unboxing on another show, but I have to look because I can't remember if it's on the YouTube or not. But the model is phenomenal. It's just gorgeous. It has all kinds of scale features. We're going to do like rockets, drop tanks, bombs, gear doors, aluminum hub wheels, aluminum spinner hubs, radial engine covers, LED lights, scale cockpit, sliding canopy, all that stuff is included. And then the retracts are by JP Hobby. So they're going to be pretty awesome. Very, very reliable rechecks. And then we have what we've done with this model. And part of the reason why took us a little bit longer to get it to market to bear was we increased the size of the cowl so it will fit the Sato 90 radials. That we knew that was going to be a big selling point for this airframe. People are going to want to put the big radials on them. So we made the cowl a little bit bigger and made it so that people can actually get that Sato on there.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, beautiful airplane. I really, really like it.
There we go.
Yeah, it's awesome. They did a really phenomenal job. Being in the industry, we've seen the ARF market have its ups and downs over many, many years. Some years, though, some models will be really fantastic. Other models,
Right.
maybe a little bit less so. But they have really, Tomas working with Duyen over at Seagull Models has really knocked it out of park with these new and upcoming models as far as making sure that quality is something that the customer is going to really appreciate.
And when you get to this level and pay this amount of money and, they want it to look great. And this is just a
Right.
starting place, right? I'm sure people take this and then age it and do all the things they want to do to make it their own.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at as I'm going to build the one that I have here stock, so that we can get a lot of good pictures and videos. And then my next step on that is a weathering technique. So I'm going to do a series on weathering, and I'm fairly certain that the Corsair is going to be the one that we use for the weathering demos. We have a couple of team pilots, like Chris Thompson comes to mind first and foremost. He is the master at bashing ARFs into these beautiful, beautiful airframes. He's done many, many, many of them, and I just can't wait to see what he does when he gets one of these. He's done the FW 190, he's done the Stuka, and they look like the real
Art.
thing. It's amazing.
Yeah. They're art.
Yes, sir. Flying art. That's a great example. And that's one of the things, again, backtracking a little bit to the website, look for that content, because one of the things we're going to do once we get the hangar time videos rolling, we're going to actually do interviews with the team pilots. We're going to have them showcase some of their tips and tricks. Those will be on the YouTube as well as the website. So as
Got
you
it.
go through, there'll be tons and tons and tons of content for you guys to latch onto and check
Man,
out.
that sounds great.
Yeah.
Also, I just noticed this contact link right up here at the top, and that takes you to
Oh, there it
email
is.
input and all the stuff you're going to need.
That form right there was one of the forms that we were having major issues with the old website. A lot of people would put their information in there, and then we would never see the emails.
I've had it
So
happen.
that's been corrected. We don't know if it was a spam thing, because whether you know this or not, there's what they call a blacklist out there. And if somebody has tagged you enough and said this email spam, then the SEO providers will actually suppress your things because they think you're spamming. So that's part of it. So
Right.
as you move forward, make sure, if you're sending us emails and you don't see something back within 24 to 48 hours, check your spam folder. A lot of
Uh,
a lot of that stuff ends up in the spam folder.
and then you can make it not spam, and then you can see it
Once
from
you
then
make
on.
it not spam, then it'll come through. You made that a safe sender, and then all that stuff will load from there on out.
Right. All right. Next up is the T28B.
Yes, sir. The T28. Yes, sir. This one I'm super, super, super excited about. Of course, me and Joe's going to have to be doing it in the Marine Corps scheme, because the Marines were a department of the Navy, but they were the men's department. So mine will have the Marine Corps scheme on it, and they're awesome. The scale exhaust is ridiculous. So many of the guys, I'm not sure on the pictures if you can see it. I think we have a couple of close-up pictures. If you go down like 3 more pictures, there's a picture with the smoke on. With the scale exhaust, it comes
Oh,
right
yeah.
out of the side where it's supposed to, and it looks
Wow.
fantastic.
Look,
So
that looks like a real plane. Yeah.
oh my goodness, yes, it looks amazing. So we're doing that one in 3 schemes. We're doing the China Lake. That's going to be that version that Jim has up on the screen now. We're also going to be the Venerable Red and White. We're also going to offer that in an uncovered, almost ready to cover version. So there's several versions of this model available to get the one you suit. I will recommend that you grab this scale exhaust, because it is just amazing. One of the things I wanted to make sure I pointed out to our customers is this one was delayed. So this one was already supposed to be here, but we had some pre-production changes that we wanted to make happen, because there were some things on it that we wanted to tweak, and we wanted to make sure that our customers got the best model for their money. So we didn't want to send this out to our customers and then turn around on the next shipment and have all these changes made and upset the customers that bought one early. So what we did was we delayed
Right.
the release so that we could get the options and the content in the airplane that we really liked. There was just a couple of small tweaks we have to make. Now, this one actually, believe it or not, this one is really kind of designed around the 40cc Stinger. And the 40cc Stinger with the scale exhaust on this one is the combination. It is amazing. I know there's people that are going to put way bigger engines on them. You know, I'm going to get calls and, hey, can I put a DA 150 on that? Well, sure, yeah. But the recommended engine is going to be that 40cc, and it flies it amazingly. It really is. It really is awesome.
Getting some top secret information in this photo.
Right? Yeah. Yes, sir.
That's
Yeah,
good.
the detail that they put into these is amazing. So this one is actually a Legend hobby airplane. So Legend now has their own manufacturer, and this is one that they turned out from the Legend hobby side of things.
There's that increased size there.
Yeah. So that was one of the changes that came through late in the game, because we got a couple of pictures of some prototypes that they were getting ready to ship, and that's really what got us watching what we wanted to have to make sure we got all the things we wanted to have, because they made some changes to the cowl that made it a little less scale looking, and we didn't want to have that. So we wanted to make sure Duyen and her team over at I'm sorry, Duyen didn't do this one. We made sure that the Legend Hobby Factory actually got the changes made, and the cowl was one of the ones. We wanted to make sure that the cowl was scale.
Got it. Yeah, that thing's hot.
Yeah, it's super, super sexy. I love that airplane. It's so cool. Over on our YouTube channel, there actually is a couple of videos on this. I put together some promo videos for it. So if you have a chance, swing over to @Legend Hobby on YouTube and go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. There's going to be lots of stuff coming out so that you guys can get on there and check it out. And that's a great place to ask questions. I monitor that very closely. So if you have any questions or need to see anything else, make sure you let us know, and we will make sure we get that information out there to you.
Got it. All right, 3 variations. Next is the L19.
Yeah, so the L19 we kind of already talked about. The L19 is so that one's on the container, the 156-inch wingspans on there. That one's coming. The other one would be the Seagull models. That's the Legend Hobby version. That's the bigger one. Okay. It is gigantic. There's a lot of information out there on YouTube on that. We actually have some videos of that. I know my buddy Fitzwalker had done a really nice video on that. So if you want to check that one out, it's pretty cool.
Fitz and Lee just had me on that podcast.
Yep.
When Jim Martin passed away, but they really surprised me going back to the Hobby Lobby website from 1996, and we all had Hobby Lobby planes that happened to just be behind us somewhere.
Yes, sir. Yep, I watched it. It was a very good episode. Those guys over there at the RC Roundtable do a good job. I'm great friends with all 3 of them, and they put out a lot of good content.
I'll tell you a little sidebar. I was taken to lunch by Jim Martin's son after Jim died. And the interesting part is he said he had no idea about any of the things that I spoke of about Jim Martin and the electric hobby. And so he said without the article, he would have had no idea that his dad was a pioneer.
Yeah.
What we do today, it's pretty amazing.
So we've got and Jim was a huge part of it. We also have a local legend here. We have, oh goodness sakes. I was just thinking of his name and you said Jim Martin and it threw me off. Keith Shaw. So Keith Shaw is here locally. I get to spend some time with Keith. Keith was another one of the ones that him and Jim did a lot of stuff that was at the time just 100% innovation. They were bringing that stuff out on their own, and nobody was doing it. And those guys pioneered the whole thing.
I remember when I first started going to events, and Keith Shaw would be sitting somewhere with his long white beard and some crazy airplane and I was afraid to talk to him. He was just too intimidating at the time to go up and talk to.
Great guy. He's a little bit of eccentric, so he's a little standoffish when you first get to know him, but once you get to know him and he knows who you are, then he opens up and he turns into a jabber where he'll just tell you about anything you ask. So the best thing to do with Jim or Keith is go up and just ask questions about his airplanes. Man, he'll talk your ear off about his airplanes, and he's got some really cool, unique things that are just boggle your mind. Some of the stuff and everything he has is scratch built. So he makes everything.
Definitely a pioneer. Do we want to go look at the Ultimate?
Absolutely. So this is one of the ones that we are currently offering a pre-sale on, and these are actually on the website.
54-inch, $349.95. What a price!
Yep. Absolutely. I believe that scheme is absolutely beautiful. It's blue. We've been getting a lot of feedback on people saying that they're worried that the blue will disappear, but I think
Right.
it's got enough opposing graphics on it that that's not going to be an issue. And that thing is going to be sweet. It'll have, so it's calling for 15 cc. I will probably put 20 in mine because I feel like that's going to be enough power for it to be super aerobatic. And it'll be, it'll be extremely spirited with that 20 cc. That Stinger 20 cc rear exhaust is the motor that I would recommend for that.
What is the scheme on the bottom of the wing?
Do you have the pre-sale or the pictures up there?
Yeah, I'm not seeing.
We don't have any pictures of the bottom of the wing.
No.
Then I'm not going to have any here. Let me look on my list here and see if I have any.
And the only reason I say that is this part of the plane doesn't matter mostly when you're flying. Really, if you're worried about the color of your plane, it's the bottom of that wing that is going to be important to you.
Right. So what I recommended, there's a couple guys that I've spoken to already, and I'm just while I'm talking, I'm going back to see if I have any pictures of the underside of the wing. What I'm recommended the guys that have called and asked about it is go ahead and put a couple of stripes on it if you want to. There's nothing wrong with putting a couple of orientation stripes on the bottom of that airplane,
Yeah,
and that's what I would recommend. If you get that airplane out there and you're having trouble with the visualness of it, then I would just go ahead and put a couple of stripes on it. That'd look pretty awesome with a couple of white location stripes or orientation stripes on it.
totally.
Yeah. So,
So,
and I'm looking through my pictures and I am not seeing a picture of the bottom of the wing. So I need to have them send that over to us.
so this is a 90 size ARF, and looking for the wing, or it should say that up here, 54-inch.
Yes, sir.
So it's kind of an entry level bip, and I love a biplane.
Oh, yes. And an Ultimate, you can't go wrong with the Ultimate. They're always going to be really great flying airplanes. They're going to handle perfectly, and they're going to be quite sporty. I think with that 20 cc Stinger, you're going to realize that airplane is going to have hops. It's going to fly really well.
I have to apologize to everyone. I just thoroughly looked at this airplane and did not have the screen pulled up. So I will thoroughly show it to you now.
I thought I was just not seeing it on my end. So yeah, I don't see any pictures of the bottom of the wing, and we will have to remedy that. We'll have to get some to show. We'll have to get some on their website. But you could very easily, even with the silver on top, because the silver on top is kind of what I want to say, kind of random. The stripe is kind of
Right.
random. You could
Yeah.
even put a couple of matching silver stripes, or even one of the other colors on the bottom, just for orientation.
And it'd be super easy.
Oh yeah, no problem at all. Grab your old handy dandy monocoat smart striper and go at it.
Get a little Windex.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic airplane. And I feel like with that 20 cc Stinger, it's really going to perform nicely.
I'll tell you what, I do these where I have a window of a website and we go look at airplanes. I like this mouse over because you can see the whole airplane here, but then you can also, the images are big enough that you can get good detail when you do
Yeah,
that.
and you can actually click on that image, and it should blow up into a bigger window, and then you can really see details. If you click right on it, it should. Maybe that's not turned on yet.
Don't have it yet.
Yeah, well, that's probably one of the things that's going to. Uh, that's part of the CSS on it, so that's probably going to be a pop out. That's the way it's intended to be set up. We'll just have to make sure that feature gets added.
Awesome. All right. So this isn't all, y'all. We have more to talk about. And I'm not sure how much Joe wants to let out of the bag, but let's talk about what we're going to discuss next week.
So we have several different things coming. There's going to be everything from 3D printed bomb drops. There's a lot of new things hitting the store. So keep an eye on the store. And one of the things we've just recently worked out was a really nice setup with a composite airplane dealer. And we are going to be importing their composite aircraft, and there's going to be several. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to do some sport jets. We're going to do some scale jets. There's going to be some warbirds. At some point, there's going to be some, what I want to say, really exciting sport airplanes, some stuff that you've not seen before. We're trying to pick models that not everybody has done. So there's a lot of things in the wings that you're not going to see anywhere else. Of course, you've got the typical, the T-28s and the L-19s. There's a few of those out there on the market, but we're really trying to strive to be a little different than most distributors, and we want to make sure that we have aircraft that are going to keep our customers happy and they can get what they want.
Got it.
So a lot of stuff coming. And when we do the next show, we'll talk about all that stuff that's on that. I don't want to give away too much of the bag because then we'll be short on things to talk about the next time.
So if you're watching this and you're like, I need to know more, this was great, but I need to know more. This video will be in a feature on RC Groups and Flying Giants. And in the video, I will link to all the pages that we just looked at. So you can go and visit it. And this will be on YouTube, and it will also hit the social media pages. So if you haven't seen this, if you just are seeing this now, that really makes no sense. If you're seeing it now, then you've actually seen it. So I'm talking to the future of, anyway, I've confused myself.
Yeah, the TARDIS is ready. We need to go back in time and fix that.
Start over. But yes, I'll have links to everything, and that way you can access and find all the cool stuff. But I will say, go ahead and hit subscribe so that when we fire this machine back up next week and talk to Joe, you can find about all the cool new stuff that's coming.
Yes, sir. One of the things that I forgot to talk about that's coming that we can talk about just a little bit, some of the stuff that's in process that's going to be on the way soon. We're going to do the second batch of the B-17s. We're going to have more of the 13-foot L-19s. We're also coming out with an 89-inch P-51B. We are going to have the Malcolm Hood canopy as well as the greenhouse canopy. That one's going to be fully sheeted for those of you that want to fiberglass your stuff. It'll all be ready for fiberglass. There's lots of things coming. And to not let all the secrets out of the bag too much, we're also coming in with a 96-inch twin otter with optional floats. That'll be awesome. That one's probably going to be 15 to 20 cc twin. So there's lots of really, really cool stuff that's in line for 2024. 2024 is going to be a big year for us. So
how the heck do you guys have time for full-time jobs? This sounds like a full-time job.
We don't. No, we don't. I, myself and Tomas, we have our 40-hour-a-week jobs, and then we have our 80-hour-a-week jobs, which is the hobby part of it. So, we, again, make sure you please bear with us on return phone calls. If we get flooded, I try to get to them every single day. So if it's a day or two, bear with us. It won't be too long and we'll both be able to be there all the time. But keep in mind, at Legend Hobby, we don't have any like brick and mortar shop where we have somebody just answering phones. So you're going to leave a message and then we're going to call you back as soon as we can.
The flip side of that is that you'll be dealing with someone who's been going to events and trade shows all over this country and probably farther for the past, how many years? 20 years?
No, actually, I didn't get started into the hobby until my first full year in the hobby was 2012, believe it or not.
Okay.
So,
well, you were fully engulfed.
I took it and went, whew.
Heck yeah, you did.
So, yeah.
Well, I want to thank Legend and everyone at Legend, because I say it a lot, without a company like Legend, where would we and you go find awesome aircraft to get excited about, build, fly, ultimately crash, and then you can move on to the next awesome airplane.
Absolutely. And we do have spare parts available, so it's not uncommon.
That's important. So thank you guys for propelling the hobby and allowing us to keep doing what we love to do. And big thanks to me, Joe, for taking time out to talk to me. And then finally, a big thanks to all of you who watch the videos, and maybe they help. And I'll apologize right now if this video has cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So it might.
We're here to console you. And don't forget, we're always happy to write first place on any airplane you purchase.
Nice. All right, everyone. Jim T. Graham with RC Groups, means over $1 with Legend Hobby. And we'll see y'all next week.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day, Jim. Thanks.
Bye, y'all.